Uncle Dig's garden update. Hey guys, welcome back to a shorter episode of Backseat Chronicles, where we're going to talk a little bit about the garden. We are in Zone 8B, and it is March 28th, 2021. My indoor garden finished up because my black domina, just before the last week of flowers started, decided to have a mite infestation, which was unfortunate. But we were able to harvest her and cut off all the mites. They hadn't made it to the inside colas yet, so I think that stuff's still going to smoke just fine. It might not be ideal, but it's going to be weed in the jar, which is always appreciated. In my veg tent, I have the DLD, which is that strain that I keep at my house that I like to play with. And the neighbor, the friend of mine who I was going to give this DLD seedling to, had a grow setup issue, i.e. her grow setup. I got up and it walked away. So I have some more time with this plant. So what I did is I took my first clone. I'm so excited to try this. So it is at day 5. It doesn't have roots yet, but I am hopeful. The cut doesn't look that rough, so I think it's going to work out fine. Now, another thing I have in my tent right now is a friend of mine gave me a clone that he is trying to keep around for his medicinal purposes. However, he has a very the same plant limits I do, and he had a big flower run. So what he did was, to keep within his plant limits, is he gave me a cut of the plant that he was getting ready to throw into flower that he wants to keep around. So I'm going to keep that in my veg tent for a little while, and then when he's done growing those out, I'll kick him back his clone, and he'll still have that same exact cut around. So it's really good to have a friend that grows weed. You know, people out here like to call them Growmies. I have several friends that grow weed that I kind of collaborate with. And if you get stuck or you have a problem sourcing genetics, or God forbid you run out of homegrown weed, a lot of times having a Growmy can really help you stay in weed and stay in genetics and stay on top of your game. A lot of stuff, the time if you have them over and they look at your setup, they'll notice things that maybe you won't. And a lot of times it's always good to have a fresh eyes if you're running into problems with pests or nutrient deficiencies that you're having trouble licking, you know? It's important that whoever you decide to grow with, it's important that you can trust them, both for legality reasons and, depending on your views on the plant. Like if you're a person that likes to keep genetics all secret and locked up for whatever reason, then you're not going to want to be my Growmy, probably, because I always ask, but I really think the plant should be just spread around all willy-nilly personally. But, there's growers that have different views. So it's important that if you're collaborating with someone, you understand their views and do your best to respect them, I would say. And that goes both ways, guys. So if you have some differing views with someone you're collaborating with, it's really important that, you start walking their way. They start walking yours, you meet in the middle, Neath that old Georgia pine, we gained a lot of copyrights. Got to respect copyrights. Anyway, so that clone's looking good. And there's not really much going on outdoor. I'm not starting any seedlings until the 30th. So that is coming up quickly. And I'm excited for the outdoor season to start. Now, I do have some other projects going on. I've been building a fence around what's going to be a sugar snap pea enclosure, but my chickens actually tested my new defenses, and they found that they could just poke their heads through and neatly pluck the peas out of the place that I had started, because I was planning on using the fence as a trellis. So I've had to add some more tighter knit chicken wire to that section where they were poking their heads through. So I got to wait another 7 days to see how many peas actually made it before I can plant another sowing that will be defended properly against reptilian intrusion. Anyway, that's it for me. Guys, have a great and wonderful spring, and let's overgrow the world.